I'm on my way to interview an owner of an interesting car. I'm just on my way to interview David about his Triumph TR5. Now he's about an hour down the road, so I'll see you then. No, I'm not performing any U-turns. Well, I'm here talking to David about this wonderful and wonderful colour TR5 Triumph. How long have you had this one, David?
Ordered in 1987, Jim.
1987. That's not as long ago as I thought, maybe. So, now in the time you've owned this, it looks like a nice TR5.
Yeah.
But you have done a lot of...
I've done a lot of work, and I've done a full body off restoration.
Really?
It took 2 years.
Yeah.
And back on the road in end of 1989.
Right.
Yep.
And that was a mechanical and then paintwork?
Everything, yeah, went down to the bare chassis.
Right, so how much of that did you do as against?
I did everything except the seats.
Really?
Tim would do the seats, Margaret did the carpet, and I did all the mechanicals, I did all the paintwork.
Really?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Painting is an art form. How much did that take you? Long, you know?
No, it's 2-pack.
Right.
At the time we lived at Epping, we had a colour bond shed down the back of the backyard.
Right.
On a nice warm day, and the colour bond heated up.
Yep,
That was my spray booth.
Really? Because that's a bit of an art form to paint that stuff as well.
It is, yeah.
It's sort of, you've got to get it right first time.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
So after the big restoration, and you did actually use it in motorsport, it was like super sprints?
Yes, I super sprinted it for 2 years. We did the Tour de Adelaide rally in the year that was. Yeah, that probably 1990 or 91. It was 91, went out for the TSA national meeting in Adelaide. So we did the Tour de Adelaide to the Grand Prix, and then we did the national meeting as well at the same time, yeah.
And those events incorporated a little bit of like motor carnering and...
Yeah, motor carnering, bit of navigation, and they were good. There's a good variety of cars in it. Yeah.
And the mountain rally, of course, which was a week long.
Yeah, mountain rally was
navigation event.
Yeah, that was really hard navigation. That was excellent.
And that went to Bathurst. You did the hill climb at
Bathurst. We did a hill climb in the wet at Bathurst.
And down the straight. Didn't you?
No, we didn't do that in that one. We just went up the hills, up the Esses.
Oh, okay. There was 91, was it?
Yes.
The next year.
Was it 91? Yeah. 92.
92?
Yeah, 92 I think that was. Because we were all around the back of Orange and everywhere.
And that event went somewhere else, didn't it? Canberra.
Yeah, we did the police drive, the training centre at
driving around the water and all that.
Yeah,
the hill climb track they've got there and that.
Yeah.
Well, that would have tested it out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So in all these years, has it given you actually any trouble? Is it?
On the first trip going out in rally down Canberra, it was started running rich and got richer and richer. To the stage it was too rich and running out of adjustment on the metering unit. So one night I took the metering unit off and the thrust washer was worn into the metering unit, giving it too much inflow. The shuttle was moving too much.
Right.
So I had to pack it up with something, and I was looking for something probably plastic, but plastic that petrol wouldn't dissolve. So I figured the bank card was probably the most durable bit of plastic. So I cut up the bank card and packed up the thrust washer and leaned it all up again and did the rest of the event, not a problem.
Well, improvisation with cars is a marvellous thing. I think one of those events, a Jaguar owner put something, a Welsh bloke blew out and a hammer handle in it or something.
Yes,
so
fair enough.
Just kept going.
Australians and New Zealanders are good at that.
And of course, while you were super spreading, I seem to remember a classic photograph of one wheel in the air at Oran Park.
Oran Park, yeah, the rear springs were too soft.
Right.
Didn't handle that good, but made a good photo.
Yeah, made a good photo. Yeah. Ford Escorts used to do that a little bit, you know. It did make a good photo, So, after you sort of stopped doing those sorts of events, the car is, what is a car clubby event?
Yeah, it's been to most national meetings.
Right.
It's been to Melbourne twice, to a national meeting in Melbourne, and also went down to the Big Shannon's Day in 2001.
Right.
So we went down to that and went to the Grand Prix. Shannon's asked me to take down to the Grand Prix one year.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been probably went to Melbourne 3 times.
Right.
It's been to Adelaide once. It's been up to Queensland once, at Queensland Lakeside. Done that. So haven't done Wanneroo in Western Australia, which is a bit of a disappointment. But I won't get to that now.
No,
Mallow was alright. That's South Australia.
Yeah, I've got a bucket list of racetracks that I'm probably not going to get to. Certainly Wanneroo's one of them. And the Tasmanian ones I won't get to them either.
No, I haven't done them.
Too far away and it's just not going to happen. So now, are you someone that gets attached to cars? Not so much the car, I think. People get attached to the memory of what they've done with the car.
Right.
So, are you someone that is going to have this when you die?
Oh yeah, I never sell it.
Absolutely. Not going to sell it.
Too much time and everything's on
Too much.
It's the memories as well as all the effort you put into doing it. It's a combination of both.
Exactly. It's all those adventures you've had. And take me right back now. What made you go, I want to own a TR5?
Probably because they were the rarest of the TRs.
Yeah.
In 1987 we went to England overseas for the first time, went to England. I thought I'll buy one over there and bring it back because there's nothing for sale here. And everything over there had rust holes you could put your fist through, you know, and we wouldn't bother with them out here, I don't think, but they were waiting to be restored. And we were only back here about 6 weeks, and I used to look at the Sydney Morning Herald car ads every Saturday morning, and this was in there. And our daughter was only 9 at the time, and she liked sleeping in on a Saturday morning, and I went in and said, "Come on kid, wake up, we're going to the beach," because it was for sale over at Avalon. Well, she saw the beach, but she never got to the beach. But we ended up with the TR5.
Right. So the Triumphs are in your blood, of course.
Yeah, well, I bought my first Triumph in 1969, which was a 66 Mark 1 2000. It had 30,000 miles on it. Where it started from, I was born at Bathurst, spent my first 21 years at Bathurst. Did my apprenticeship with Gurdon Motors, they were BMC dealers, and there was a couple of Triumphs in town, and I got the light Triumph, so that's what I want to work on. So I came down to Lark Hoskins in 1971, they were state distributors for Triumph, and so in the meantime I bought this Mark 1 in 1969, and came down here and worked on Triumphs. That's where I started, basically.
Well, it's funny with cars. Triumphs do have a reputation. Some people, when you go to a car event or something, they break down all the time, whatever. In my experience, it doesn't matter what car it is, it comes down to the maintenance.
Exactly,
And the reputation might be bad, but the reputation is bad because they haven't looked after it. Or haven't looked after it correctly. Because I've got a Triumph Dolomite that had a great history of breaking down. Yet, after about 5 years of ownership, it never broke down again, because you learn.
And you get all the bugs out of the previous hasn't done.
And you maintain it properly. I'm sure that modern cars, you just get in and turn the key, don't worry about it.
Until the electronics blow up.
Until something else goes wrong. Which, don't talk about that. Well, thanks very much for that little chat about the wonderful TR5.
No, that's all right, Jim. No, pleasure.
I'm Crack McMullard. Bye for now.